Hey guys, it's Jess. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by today and clicking on this video. In today's video, I am going to be spilling the tea. I am going to be telling you all the things I wish people would have told me before going to college. I think that with YouTube culture and social media and all of this, I think with like daily day in the life college vlogs, college I think sometimes gets romanticized to the point where when you watch people's lives on YouTube, it seems perfect, and I gotta say I'm guilty of this too at times, but I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the things about college that people don't really talk about on their channels or very much unless you're like talking in person. I made a list on my phone. I just wanted to kind of go, it's in no particular order, but I was just thinking of things I didn't really expect about college or I didn't realize until I got here, and I thought I would share it with y'all. I hope this helps you in some way. If y'all are new here, be sure to head on down below and hit that subscribe button if you want, and if you want to leave a thumbs up, that'd be super nice. This is something I cannot stress enough. You may not meet your best friends the first week you're in college. I know some people who like met their best friends at orientation. I met some of my really good friends at orientation. Not the people I hang out with all the time, but I still love them and keep in touch with them. I guess my point is, if you go to college and you don't meet like your 4 best friends that you want to spend the next 4 years with, it's totally okay. It's normal, like that happens. I actually did meet my friend group pretty early on, but I know a lot of people sometimes don't even start making real friends until the second semester of college, the second year of college. If you're in that boat, like, don't feel bad about that. It's not weird. It's just like part of life. Like making friends, it's not like you can just make friends like you go to the store and buy something. Like you have to make real genuine connections, and meeting people who you connect with, it's gonna take time. Now on a similar note, once you do meet those people and you do make those friends in college can like truly become your family. It's so crazy. It's unlike what I've ever had with friendships before, but I've definitely found like the dynamic I have with my friends now is like so vastly different from high school. Not like to say anything bad about my high school friendships. I value those and those were really special at the time, but something about like you're living together and maybe you're not, you're around each other all the time and you're in this unique phase of life. It's just like very different. I don't even know how to explain it, but college friends hit different. I think the key difference here is that these are people you're choosing. It's not just out of convenience, whereas like, I don't know, if you're like me and you grew up in a suburb, you might have been friends with the same people for 12 years, but at this point you have like a clean slate, and anyone you're friends with now, it's because you choose to be their friend and you choose to put in the time and effort and not because of like geography. This is one thing that I wish someone had said, and I just want you to know this. Everyone listen to me now, file this away. You need adult role models in your life. Like you need grown-ups around you in college. I say this because I'm an RA and I help people like all the time. I'm always with my girls. We're talking about freshman year. We're talking about the stuff. I say freshman year because most of them are freshmen. But like we're talking about life. But the truth is, a lot of these girls at the time, I'm like 20. They're like turning 19. I don't have that much more life experience than them. That's not to discredit like me, but the point is, I don't know, I would ask like my freshman year mentor a lot of questions, and she was a junior and a senior the years I had her in college, and you know, she helped a lot, but she's only 2 years older than me. And so I think that there is a big difference in the advice and just like the whole experience of having grown-ups around. Unless you're like emancipated, you probably are used to being around teachers, being around grown-ups, being around your friends' parents. Like it's just a very normal part of your life. And then when you go to like a dorm or an apartment, you're around a bunch of 20-somethings and 18-year-olds. It's so different. And so I would say whether it's becoming friends with your professors or getting to know people who work in the building you live in, it just really makes a difference when you have a grown-up you can turn to that's not your mom or dad. And I mean, your mom and dad, they're not there physically most likely, and so you need, you know, it's just very valuable to befriend or to just be kind to the adults around you. Okay, you should go to class. This is like, duh, I'm sure you've heard people say this in videos, but like, there comes a point where if you don't go to class, if you don't turn something in, that is on you. But I think it's still important. Like I really think it is. I think the professor's seeing you in your seat, because you tend to have like your seat, even if it's not assigned, you have your seat. I think if you're turning stuff in, if you're doing your best work, I really think it reflects well on you. And I think you never know when you might need these connections, whether you might want someone to recommend you for something, if you might want certain opportunities. You're paying to be there. And I hope that you're not just paying thousands of dollars for the social aspect, although I love that. I also pay to go to class, so I go to class. Okay, this is tea. Grades don't matter, but like also grades do. If you're going to graduate school, if you're going to law school, if your company looks at that, all the things I've gone to for my prospective careers as a journalist, they're like, we don't care what you got in your astronomy class, not a big deal. I think at the end of the day, your work ethic shows in everything you do, and I think it is important. Doesn't mean you have to have perfect grades, but I think that you want people to see like a good work ethic in you. That's my philosophy. That's kind of how I do things, and that's why I work hard at everything, because I take pride in what I do. But you know what? I think there comes a point where this is like your call. It's not up to your parents, it's not up to your friends. When it comes to grades, like, this is on you now, and so you do you. I don't think you realize it at the time, but I've kind of started to see over the years, this is such a formative time of your life. The people you're around, the things you do, the habits you form, this is like kind of setting up the rest of your life. And I'm not saying like don't have fun, but I'm just saying you're making choices, and all of your choices are going to amount to something in some way. And I would just say be mindful about all of that, because you know, you might wake up one day and regret things or wish you'd done things differently. You try not to live that way, but I would just say be thinking about the fact that everything you're doing right now, like, you can have fun, you should have fun, but like, this is all going to, you're going to amount to something one day, and what are you doing now that's going to contribute to that one day you? Okay, this is sensitive, but I'm trying to say this in like the most low-key way I can. Life is really hard, and sometimes bad things happen. I say it like this because it's very broad. Also, I don't want to say anything specific and leave anything out. Bad things happen sometimes. If you were going through real life-ish in college and you need help, like, please get help. I really was going through a hard time the end of my freshman year, beginning of my sophomore year. It was like 2019 as a whole was literally one of the worst years of my life. And I'm saying this right now in 2020, so like, just take that in. I got to a point where like I needed to see counselors and I needed to do things for me, or else things were gonna get really bad. People can only do so much for you. You have to choose to take care of yourself, and I know it's really scary to go to the counseling and mental health center or to tell people that you're hurting or that you're struggling, but like, I cannot stress enough, there comes a point where you have to do it. And I sincerely wish more than anything, I wish I told my friends sooner I was struggling. I wish I told, like, just so many things. So if you're going through something, anything, whatever that may be, and you need help, I guarantee you there's someone out there who loves you, and there's someone out there who can help you. And so please, please take care of yourself. Complete 180 from what we were just talking about. Make your bed. I am a firm believer that in college you should make your bed. You live in such a small space. It does make a difference if you make it or not. Even if your room is not beautiful, I think showing that you make your bed, so fun, so cute, so yes. And I don't know if y'all ever heard, a few years ago at UT, just happened to be the school I go to, their commencement speaker had this speech that went kind of viral, and like the first thing he talked about was like make your bed. I think he was like military of some sort, and no, that was something about at the end of the day, if you did nothing but make your bed, at least you got that. You should definitely try to get to know your professors, but if you're scared to do that, which no judgment, I was definitely really scared when I joined college. When I first entered college as a freshman, I was so intimidated by how cool my professors were. Like, so many of them were like such cool professionals. I really admired them. But I found that if you were intimidated by the professor, like, get to know the TA. If nothing else, when you talk to the TA, they know the professor really well, and so I feel like that can't hurt you at all. And a lot of times they'll tell you, like, hey, they're not that scary. And no, you should try and take advantage of office hours and like just talk to like your teaching staff for you. They are there for you. They want to help you. And if you think about it, so many kids like don't go to class or don't actually try on the assignments. So if you're like actually asking for help, they're happy to help you, because so many people like don't care. There's plenty of people in every class that don't care because that may not be their class, but if you like get in there and really try, I think that really means something to the professors and to the TAs. Similar note, I think you should always be mindful of like working hard and being kind and all these things, because you never know what professor or what classmate might be able to offer you some sort of opportunity one day. I know I have an internship right now, all because someone recommended me in one of the organizations I'm in, or something. Our professors like to say this, and I think this is so funny. They're like, be careful and be smart in college, because you don't want to like give anyone any attitude, because you never know which one of your classmates or one of your peers might be able to hire you one day. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, someone can hire you. You want to be someone that they trust and someone who they respect. Kind of said this before, but the people who go to office hours versus the people who don't, you see a major difference. I think the professors see it, and I think like I didn't go to many office hours my freshman year. I told myself I didn't have time, I was scared, I didn't know what to say. You know what, at the end of the day, if you want to do it, you can just go and talk to them. You don't even have to be there that long. Like, if you go, show up for 5 or 10 minutes, that is plenty. I would just make an appearance is what we say. Go make an appearance. And if you have a friend, like I have a friend who's like the best about office hours, I will tell her, hey, I want to go talk to my British literature professor, and she will we'll sit down and talk about like what are some things that we might talk about. And that sounds so silly, but like if you need to make a plan of what to say, like go in there with one thing to ask them about. They will love it. Like I promise you, it's really helpful. Okay, T. Party culture is very real. Drinking culture can be like a lot. What I want to say about this, first of all, I'm not a big partier, so I feel like I don't have a lot of grounds to stand on when I talk about this, but what I will say is that you need to be careful when you go out. If you are going out, whether it be to party or not, make sure the people you go with aren't going to leave you. Make sure that you're all there on the same page, that you have a plan. Make sure you don't ever take an open drink. I think that's obviously, people talk about this all the time, but I just couldn't have this video and not say that. Just like, be smart. Like, be smart. I think you know what I mean when I say that. Just like, be smart about this. Again, kind of along these lines, if someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to do, literally don't even mess with that. That's just like not, I don't know, at this point you are an adult. That is not what you need in your life. Anyone who's going to pressure you into doing something and make you feel bad about not doing it, they are not your friend. Like, you know what, my friends and I, something we all like kind of knew, we were like, we don't really want to drink underage. That's not our jam. That's not what we're here for. We're not gonna do that. We can like go to places, but we're not going to go drink at those places. When I go to parties, that's like something I know, like, yeah, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna be the sober one. And so it's just like, my friends have never once made me feel bad about that. Even like my friends who do drink, they know when I come over that I'm kind of like, yeah, no, I'm good. It's no big deal. And they don't make me feel bad about that. If your friends make you feel bad about that, and like if people are making different choices from you and you don't want to participate and someone tries to make you feel bad about that, you do not need to be around that. Like I don't even know how to say it other than that. Like you can try and maybe have a conversation about that, but at the end of the day, you know what's right for you. And if you feel like you are being pressured into doing something else, like, no. That is such a red flag on so many levels. I can't with that. Join something. Duh. Like everyone talks like, join an organization. Ugh, I know. Everyone says that. People kind of told me that, but like, I was like, whatever. No, it's real. That's how you make your friends. Like, yes, I did make friends in the building I live in, but when you join an organization, the friends you make there are going to have similar passions to you. And that is really cool. You probably will get to volunteer together. You will get to work on projects together. You will get to go just hang out and live life together. So big fan of saying you should definitely join something. I have seen like a million different YouTube videos, TikToks, things about dorm essentials. You know what? Everyone says different things, and I think it's because everyone's college is different and everyone is different. I am literally an overpacker, so like take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I firmly believe that like you should bring things to your dorm room that remind you of home. Like, yeah, you want to decorate it and be all cute if you're like girly like me, but you want to have things in your dorm that remind you of home, whether that's like pictures or like it just feels good. And so they say that it's always a good idea to like have things that remind you of home because you're going through such a dramatic change when you go to college. But like just little things like that can make such a big difference for you. So that is all that I wrote down on my list of little things to tell you guys. If you have some tea or some things I forgot to say, please leave those in the comments below. I hope that this was helpful to you. I just wanted to kind of chat, share some things about college with you, and just have fun with you. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Yeah, if you like more content like this, go ahead and subscribe because I'm about to start posting a lot more college content. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing week and I will see you guys next time. Bye!